What happened in Edmonton's real estate housing market for the month of November? Well, we're going to talk about that in this video. Hi, this is Melody Wilson, realtor with the RealLife team powered by Real Broker. Today we're going to talk to you about what happened in Edmonton's real estate market for the month of November. Now, I know some of you have asked me about what's going on in the condo market, and I specifically covered just the single family home market. If you're looking for condo market, you can send me a message. I don't typically specialize in that, and that's why we're focusing all about the single family home market. Now, single family home market in Edmonton in November, no big surprise, we did start to see a slowdown. Now, as a realtor, I'm actually quite relieved that we have a little bit of a slowdown because last year at this time, we were still quite busy. The real estate market was delayed from the stalled start last year, and with all the things happening in the world, everything was just busy. People wanted to move, people wanted to sell. We're still seeing that this year, but it's not as strong, and we're kind of going back to our seasonal norms, which is normal to kind of have a slowdown in November, December, and it start to pick up about February. So this is not to be alarming at all. So interestingly enough, the statistics are saying that in November, the listing absorption rate was actually higher than in October, which means that the listings that were on the market, more of them sold than more of them being put on. So as of November 2021, we had just over 2,500 listings. And we had about 769 sell in November. So if you look at October, like the previous month, we actually had slightly lower sales. And so it's interesting because we are seeing a bit more sales. This can also be that little quick rush to get a sale done before the end of the year. Now, the average price in Edmonton for single family homes actually went up month over month and year over year to just over $467,000. If you look at the trend for the last year, you'll see that from November of last year to December, the price trend dropped significantly, and that's also to do with lack of sales. So we're probably going to see that, my guess is this year as well, and then it'll start to change about February, March. So for the overall price trend for 2021, interesting is we knew it was going to go high, but how much did it go up? According to these statistics, for the last year, up until the November stats, so we're still missing December, the average price in Edmonton for single family homes went up 6.99%. That is the largest increase we have seen in the last 5 years. So if I take a look at even 5 years prior, it's actually also even higher than that. The highest increase we've seen year over year was 3%, and you can see this year we're almost at 7% increase in price. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? Does that mean everything's so expensive you can't afford it anymore? You have to take into consideration the interest rates. So the mortgage interest rates are still really low, and they're quite a bit lower than they were 8 years ago. So actually, you're still getting a deal, because if you look at your payments, you're actually coming out better when you're buying a property with a higher price point and lower interest rate. Of course, you need to be careful. We don't need to go crazy, but the average price, because it has gone up, your expectations of a starter home or a move-up home is going to be more, obviously, than it was even last year. We've seen this in the new build market. We've seen their prices increase by quite a bit because of the lack of trades, the lack of supply, and the high demand. We've seen in resale market the high demand increasing these prices that we've never seen in a very long time. And this makes sense why our real estate market was so busy this year. Now, what's happening for 2022? Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can only guess that we're actually going to probably stay very consistent to what we were this year. If we're going to see another substantial price increase is still to be waited on, but I can assure you that the market, I bet, is going to still stay quite strong. We don't just go up and then down significantly in 1 year. We see a pretty slow increase and decline. So I talked earlier about the listing absorption rate and how many sales we had, and we had more last month than this month. But if you take a look at the number of listings that came on the market in the month of November, we did see a decrease from last year at this time and also last year. And like I said earlier, the market is slowing down as its seasonal norms. Last year we didn't have seasonal norms, and we were seeing things still come on the market more than normal. So now people are realizing, hey, it's Christmas coming around the corner. People are actually, thinking about Christmas a lot more than they were last year. So there's probably a lot less people wanting to put their house on the market until after Christmas, and potentially seeing that in January or the spring. So if you look at the 12-month trend and you look at what happened at this time this year into December and January months, you'll see that the number of listings active that get put on the market are lower and lower. They kept going lower from November until February, and then in March we started to see a significant increase. And then month over month and week over week, we started to see a huge increase in the number of active listings. So the number of sales from this time last year and this time last month also is gone up. And that is why the market is still a little bit more balanced and we're still seeing sales happening. So the average days on market actually went up month over month and it's down slightly year over year. If you take a look at the 12-month, 13-month market history, you'll see that from November to December and January, the average days actually continues to go up. Like I said earlier, less people are out looking for homes. It's cold, it's winter, people don't want to necessarily move or look at houses. And so with that, that seasonal norm is happening. And then come spring, when things start to melt, people are thinking about moving and wanting to move in the spring, summer months, they start to get more active in the market. So you'll see, no surprise again, for the price distribution, the most popular price point in Edmonton for single family homes was $300 to $399, and slightly less than that was $400 to $499. Now, if you take a look at the homes that sold over $1 million, you actually still had a decent amount of homes sell over $1 million, still over 200 properties sell. And we started doing a luxury real estate market update, so make sure to click the description and the link below and you'll be able to see that new video that comes out on a different YouTube channel all about luxury market. So Edmonton's real estate market is still bustling and moving. It is quieter than it typically is, but it's also normal. So we'll talk to you next time. Make sure to check out this video here when we talk about the cost of living in Edmonton if you're thinking about moving here, or maybe you want to check out a high-end listing. Well, check out this video and you'll be able to see inside of $1 million property. Thanks for watching. See you next week.